Ahead we have 8 targets, 4 roving tanks and 4 scuds that are not moving. We're going to be using the targeting pod and the laser designator and the LGBs, and then we're going to use the GPS bombs on the scuds because they're not moving. We set up the Jdams in target of opportunity, and we set up our LGBs to laser code 1687. On the amp CD, we power up our Atflir, and here's where we adjust the darkness and brightness. Here's where we set up the Atflir's laser target designator to 1687. Just as an example, if we were to do buddy lasing, this is how we set up the laser search tracker for, in this case, 1684. LST is the laser search tracker and LTD is the target designator. We unbugged the vertical velocity slave. The general area of our target is at waypoint 1 generally, but it's been set high, so I'm going to set it down to the ground by going to data, go to the look at how high that is, 2,000 meters. Go to the UFC, go to elevation, and change it to something really low, like 100 feet. And that'll show up in waypoint 1. While we're here, we set up the waypoint to precise, and we set our aircraft to decimal, latitude and longitude, not seconds, decimal, not seconds. We'll be using this for the data cartridge. Double checking that our laser codes on the bombs are 1687. I call it my program called The Way. This basically gives me the power of having a cartridge if I have F10 map. I can send you a link to where I got this from, but believe me, it's awesome. My data cartridge is going to have 4 waypoints, and I'm going to create them at waypoint 11, 12, 13, and 14. Here's where I start selecting points on the F10 map. Here's where all the targets are. There's the 4 scuds. And we're going to select this. We're going to get that purple dot. That's in the center of the screen. We move that purple dot and we zoom in. Move the map until the target is right there. And then say, select that point. We got 1 waypoint selected. Zoom back out, find another one. Zoom back in until that target is right underneath the purple dot. Select another point. We got 2 of them selected now. These are not in the airplane yet. These are just in the software. Zoom back in, put the target underneath the purple dot, and select the point. We got 3 of them now. There's 1 more. There's the scud. And there's 4 waypoints. Note here are the other targets, but they're moving. So it'd be kind of pointless to make waypoints on them. But there are 4 tanks going around the airport. We know there's 4 tanks there, so we're going to have to locate them with the targeting pod. Notice that my waypoint is set to 10. That's because we're going to start at 11. It will automatically increment. If I didn't want any of these points, I could always discard all of them. But I want to begin transfer right here, which will bring up this pop-up. And as soon as you press continue, watch what happens. It's automatically going to load in all of those points and elevations. And once it's finished, it's going to have 11, 12, 13, and 14 overwritten, which in this case started out with zeros, but now we have 4 waypoints. Note that waypoint 10 is still 0. Waypoint 11 is our first waypoint. Now we can set up our Jdams. Get rid of that. Instantaneous. Release type manual. And now in one single run-in, we're going to set up our waypoints 11, 12, 13, and 14. We don't even need the FLIR yet. That's for the lasers. Once we designate our first waypoint, we will get our targeting zone. It's a ways away. There it is on the ground, 27 miles away. Just to give our bombs a good running toss, we should increase our speed a bit. We're almost there. It should be about fast enough. Set the auto throttle. Adjust our heading just a little bit. Not necessary, but it doesn't hurt to get as close as we can. Once I finish all my drops, I want to turn around and go back the other way. So notice that I'm setting my bug in the opposite direction. At this point, the horizontal select is not set because I'm not ready to go back that way yet. That's waypoint 11. And we're in range. Pickle. 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 Autopilot, horizontal select on. Autopilot will turn us. We're finished with the Jdams. LGBs are next. Say goodbye to 4 scuds. Because our turn was wide, we need to adjust our heading boat again. Well, we're about 9 miles from the target. Turn on the targeting pod. Make sure that our laser codes are the way we want them. Make sure that the laser designator is definitely on, because it will get turned off. You'll see. Call up the LGBs. Yeah, 1687. We don't need the horizontal heading select, so we turn that off, because as long as the barometric hold is on, our angle of bank is going to pretty much stay where we set it. We're looking at waypoint 1, which is now pretty close to the ground. Those are the scuds we took out. Infrared, we need to adjust all the way up during the day. Again, we don't need the horizontal heading select. Notice the angle off on waypoint 1. Bug the MCD because we're going to do some searching. The diamond means that I'm looking. The double bars mean that I'm designating. I'm still designating, but in this case I'm searching. At wide angle and 9 miles, it's going to be difficult to see, but guess what? There it is. Zoom and lock. Rolling in. Make sure the designator's on. If the targeting pod gets masked, you could lose a lock. So always check. Yep, we still got it. TV or infrared, depending on what you need. And the TV's gain needs to be turned all the way down. Pickle! I bank left just a little bit so that I don't overfly the target. Lasing. Because I'm editing this, I know what my mistake is. Watch. No boom. Left DDI. The E-fuse is off. Turn the designator back on. As I was flying this, I had no idea. Yeah, I checked the laser designating codes, but I did not check the E-fuse. I was thinking maybe I was going too fast. Okay, check the laser code again. And the E-fuse? Crap. Oops. My bad. Turn around, head back in for another attack then. This time with the E-fuse. We don't want to head straight to the target, so we keep it somewhat at an angle. Pay attention to when we mask and when we don't. Waypoint 1. Yeah. That angle's good enough so we can do a prolonged search. Infrared might be better. Make sure the gain is all the way up. Look close or you'll almost miss it. Locked. Roll in. Lost lock. Locked again. Yep, the designator is on. I'm holding the release button now. Pickle. The target is stuck on a fence. Lasing. Boom. Okay, we can go out to about 10 miles or so and turn around, come back in, and keep the target at just a little bit offset so that you don't come in straight at it. I think the designator gets turned off automatically to keep it from overheating. But if you're going to use it again, you got to turn it back on again. Infrared. Offset just enough so that we don't mask the targeting pod. At this distance, it's a single pixel you're looking for. Locked. Rolling in. Infrared, the gain is turned all the way up. The television, the gain is turned all the way down. Make sure we're still locked. Keep in mind that the barometric hold has been on all this time. Double checking that. Double checking the lock. Hold the release. And pickle. Offset just a bit so that you don't overfly the target. Lasing. Splash. One left. So if you're going to use the targeting pod again, turn that thing back on. Because it's a bad habit of mine, I'm going to show you how to deal with the fact that you're making a bombing run, you just dropped a bomb, but your designator's turned off. Okay, let's turn around and come back in. We're going to have to search, so we want to be offset just a bit without coming straight in. There he is. Locked. Rolling in. I have intentionally left this off. Still off. Holding the release button. Pickle. Uh-oh, no designator. Quick, turn it on. Box the trigger and pull the trigger on the joystick. Lasing. Offset a bit. Kaboom. Because we boxed the trigger, the designator stays on, so we have to manually turn it off. Egress the AO and RTB.